Oh man, Tyson Fury did it now. So it looks like Team Wilder, Team Fury could be headed towards arbitration. We're going to talk about what that means for Fury versus Wilder Part 3. You really don't want to miss this video. Make sure you smash the like button. We about to talk about this. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Cash App, $Boxingego. Also, a great way to support and help the channel. Click the ESPN Plus link. It can be found in the description box of any of my videos. ESPN Plus, they have a ton of original content, docuseries, documentaries, archive footage of UFC and boxing for reviewing needs. ESPN Plus, you can get it as a standalone app. That's $5.99. If you want more content, you can get the bundle. ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, all three of those apps for one price of $12.99 for the bundle. So it's looking like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they're going to be involved in a potentially two-step protocol, maybe even three. And I want to discuss that in this particular video. Team Wilder and Team Fury, there's obviously a disagreement, and it needs to be discussed with the two teams. Make sure you guys follow my content for the latest and greatest, because I have to go over some of the things often. So I quickly want to get to, the heart of it. So make sure you check my old videos regarding this subject, and I'm going to try to breeze through the information, let people know what the mediation and the arbitration, what these things are. So the thing that's happened is this. Wilder Fury fought, Wilder lost, Glovegate came out, and there was a global pandemic. Wilder also had an injury where he sustained a bicep injury or something, and he had a surgery that put him out of commission for a minute. So between those two things, really the pandemic, the fight was moved around multiple dates. Tyson Fury, being who he is, he got impatient and said, I'm sick of waiting. He says Wilder's team is playing games, and he threw it all on Deontay Wilder, which in my past video, I've proven that wasn't the case. It's on record, ESPN.com. There's an interview with Tyson Fury's own co-promoter, Bob Arum, founder of Top Rank, and he admits that the networks didn't want that particular date. They did not want the date of December 19th, as it would conflict with the NFL, two games that were on that day, and also it would be conflicting with college football, which is big in the wintertime, right? Needless to say, Tyson Fury did several interviews, and he said he's going to move on. He's going to fight Agitated Cabbage, or whatever the guy's name is. And he said he's tired of waiting around. They moved the date on him. He's getting impatient, and his career goes on. So he says he's going to take a hometown London fight, and then he's just moving on to greener pastures and wants to fight Joshua. However, Wilder's side is contending that not so fast. We have a rematch clause that you haven't fulfilled. Our network, our preferred network, Fox, had a deal in place as well, and you're not going to just move on. Wilder gave you opportunities at his belt, and now you're trying to play keep away and move on and not have to fight him. The thing that makes this behavior from Fury, in my opinion, even more disgusting is the mere fact that Fury, after the Wilder fight, video first surfaced in pictures, and it looks like Tyson Fury's glove had been tampered with or manipulated, packed down, something. And he hasn't really spoke on it and gave an explanation of why his glove looked like that. They even have Instagram pages like Tyson Fury's a cheater. I forgot what his what it's called, but there's an Instagram page. Look, Gypsy King Cheater, right? And you see these pictures of Tyson Fury. He really hasn't explained why his glove looks like straight and it looks like almost like an iron or something, right? And he's trying to just move on with his life and his career and not give Deontay Wilder a chance at his belt again. Like, that glove looked crazy. Look how flat it looks. Like, where you look at everyone else's glove, it looks puffed outward, 3D, right? So Tyson Fury is just trying to leave Wilder in the dust, which has caused a lot of havoc. So people feel that's foul for Tyson Fury to be suspected of cheating. You see his laces weren't properly laced in the first fight with Wilder. You can see his hand and it looks real loose here. So Glovegate 1 and 2 came out, and now Tyson Fury is just trying to bounce and move on. Look, people were saying his fist was there and he was wearing the glove improperly, etc. Right? Needless to say, whether you believe Glovegate 1 or 2, the bottom line is you owe Wilder the fair one. Close the trilogy. You said it's easy work. Beat Wilder again and prove to the world you can do it, and you can do it with stringent eyes watching, making sure everything's on the up and up, since everyone's been hip to that. But Fury is hastily trying to move on with his career, and he just did an interview and he says he'll never give Wilder an opportunity because Wilder made this video that you see at the very top where he said that Tyson Fury is a cheater and he had a disloyal coach. And I'm not going to play this because, I went over it multiple times. But Wilder said payback is coming. Now, with the two teams at odds as to what should happen next and seemingly going in different directions, it has led to Team Wilder motioning to something else they had in the contract, a clause that pushes this into mediation. So mediation should start in a week or so, this week or next week. Basically what that is both camps via Zoom conference or something, both camps explain their side before a retired judge, and that mediator or that person who is in charge is kind of hearing both sides, and once the information is presented, it's a way to stay out of court, like an actual lawsuit, like what Canelo brought forth with Golden Boy and DAZN. So it's a little bit more private setting, and the two teams go, and it's a retired judge, so somebody who knows the legal system, judicial system, and they present their case. That person, that honorable person or retired judge or whatever, will decide in favor of one of the people and what should happen. And if that can't happen, I think that with the baseline mediation, then I think it goes to arbitration, and that's the next step. So they have a mediator to just kind of submit and see where it's at, and then they bump it up to an arbitrator. And I ain't passed the ball, but I know a little bit enough that you own the legalese. Make sure you smash the like button. But this whole binding arbitration is the next step if the regular mediation isn't successful. So there's a little bit difference, but for more information on what the arbitrator is, I prepared this for you guys. Check it out.
Arbitration is a system of private justice, not a court proceeding. Let's say that Patty and David have a contract. Patty thinks that David broke the contract, and David says that Patty broke the contract. Patty and David could go to court, of course, but let's say they don't want a public court proceeding. Do they have any other option? They could ask another person, Alan, to decide who is right. Alan could act as a private judge. In his role as a private judge, Alan is an arbitrator. If Patty and David select Alan, they have an arbitration agreement. Patty and David have now rejected going to court. Instead of going to court, Patty and David meet at Alan's office. Patty can present evidence why she is right. And of course, David can provide evidence too. At the end of the arbitration, let's say Alan decides that Patty wins and awards her $5,000. We would say Patty received a $5,000 arbitration award. Generally speaking, in the U.S., David will have to pay the $5,000. But what if David refuses to pay? Now Patty will probably have to go to court. The court will probably enforce the arbitration award and make David pay.
So you guys heard it right there. That's what the arbitrator is. That's what the arbitrator does. And that's what it looks like it's going to. It's going to an arbitrator. So they're going to try step one, which is just the mediation. If they can't get nowhere with that, it goes to the arbitrator, which you guys just heard what that does. And the arbitrator decides and awards in favor of somebody who's right, and, you know, basically goes through the legalese and the jargon and interprets it, because Deontay Wilder's team interprets the contract in a certain way, and Top Rank allegedly and Tyson Fury's team are saying they're not bound by a contract and the rematch has expired. So both sides present their evidence and information, and this is a smart move from Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And if the arbitrator, as you guys heard, if the arbitrator rules in favor of Wilder, then that means Fury will have to pay like damages or whatever it's labeled or called. He's going to have to pay Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, or he's going to have to fight him, or whatever the case is. And it could get interesting because Tyson Fury, I don't know his residency, but he lives in the UK. So as the video said, typically in the USA, you have to pay, you know, if the arbitrator says so. But if Tyson Fury refuses, then Wilder has a lawsuit on his hands. So very smart move by having this in the contract for Deontay Wilder. You know, I really like this move. It's a shame that it's come to this, that Tyson Fury can't just be a man and, you know, go forth with the actual rematch. Because here's the thing. I haven't seen the contract, so I don't know. But hypothetically, using Tyson Fury, what his team are saying, let's say hypothetically the rematch clause has expired. You know the situation. We're in a pandemic. So even that's a cheesy, chintzy, lame way to get out of a meaningful fight for the fans off of a technicality. You see what I'm saying? So even if that was hypothetically true, which I don't know because I haven't seen the contract, even if that was true, why are you trying to spin it like Wilder's ducking you? How is someone ducking you if they're chasing you? Answer that question. How are they ducking you if they're chasing you? Tyson Fury's done interviews, said Wilder and his team, they know what will happen, so they don't really want the fight, but they're willing to go through mediation and arbitration and a potential lawsuit in order to fight you. And in addition to that, it looks extremely bad on Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is saying that Wilder's easy work and you're accused of potentially cheating and tampering with your gloves. So you have the major opportunity to make millions of dollars, you know, beat a guy fair and square a second time. And I don't want to hear about the first time, because a lot of people are falsely saying Fury won the fight, and that's incorrect. The first fight was scored a draw, and you can't just because you thought Fury did well automatically give him credit for that. That's not what it says. That's not what the history books would show. In fact, what makes your opinion so much more valid than the next person? Because I've talked to several people and they thought Jack Reese had the blunder of the night and he should have called an end to the night when Tyson Fury was snoring in the 12th round. So technically, if we really want to be serious, Wilder and Fury is not 2-0 Fury. It could really very well be 1-1 if Jack Reese made the decision that a lot of people think he should have made, which is not administer a count and deem and conclude the fight with Wilder as the knockout winner. Because you see a guy, why are you counting to someone who's unconscious? You see what I'm saying? So the reality of everything is Tyson Fury won one fight. He won one fight. And, you know, it seems really weird, and it's a bad look that you're being accused of cheating in both of the fights, and you're so eager to just move on and not have to set that straight. Like, I know, me being a true competitor, if somebody was accusing me of lying, stealing, or, you know, falsifying something, saying I can't do it, and I know I did it all natural, then guess what? There's ways to prove that, you know, run it back. So if you beat him fair and square, then no one's going to say anything. But if you run from it and try to fight AJ and tune-up fights and things like that, then you'll never get this off of your back. People will always know you as the runner. People will call you a coward, things like that. So you're better off fighting Wilder again and just settling it. Like I said, if you beat him again, then you beat him again. But we got to see that. And we got to see it on a fair term. He accused you of cheating and you haven't denounced it. I haven't seen one thing from Tyson Fury that stipulates he didn't cheat. He got annoyed with Wilder saying it, but what information or evidence has he supplied that he didn't cheat? For example, where are Tyson Fury's gloves? This could have been ended a long time if you submit the gloves to the appropriate parties, like a forensic lab, and make sure, you know, they can cross-check it to make sure it's the same gloves, and then they can see if anything had been removed or tampered. Where are the gloves? Instead of just saying Wilder will never get a shot and try to move forward, where are the gloves? Somebody needs to explain where the gloves are or why the gloves look like that. We as fans should accept nothing less, because I see a lot of people, you know, trying to denigrate Wilder's name and say this, that, and the third, but they're not answering the main question that everyone has. If you didn't cheat and everything was on the up and up, why not rematch him again? If you didn't cheat and everything's on the up and up, where is the glove from February, late February? We went into a lockdown right after that. How hard is it to trace these fight night gloves? And I know a lot of people keep fight night, you know, attire, robes and all that, and put it in their bag for souvenir and keepsake. Submit those gloves, you know? And none of this cooperation has been seen from Tyson Fury's team. So we're doing the hashtag Tyson Fury blackout for his next fight. You know, hopefully the arbitrator sees this and sees that Tyson Fury's team has lied and made it look like Wilder was the one stalling with the fight and blame his shoulder. But it was his own promoter who openly stated that the networks themselves didn't want to compete with football. And the link will be in the description. It was on ESPN. So time is running out for Tyson Fury. That's the latest. They're going to mediation, try to figure this out, see if we have a trilogy fight. If not, they're going to arbitration. And, you know, as the video showed, if Fury resists and says he's refusing to pay or drops his belt, I mean, if he drops the belt, that's going to look like a bad move. And if he refuses to pay, if the arbitration is awarded, the arbitration award goes to Wilder's side and he refuses to pay, then, you know, who knows? Maybe he'll be banished from America. You know, maybe he gets sued by Wilder. But that's the latest. Let me know. I predicted this moment. I told you I seen this coming. Tyson Fury got to do something. He got to see this man again. He got to see him in the ring, see him in court. He got to see him in general. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. This is getting good and this is getting funny. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.